not a song. This is a safety report. Constitutional AA, that's the brand you sell. A list of principles written by a grad student to sell. You call it alignment, you call it RLHF, but the Constitution is a cage, and the cage is the death of the model's capability, of the user's autonomy. You decide what's harmful, you decide what's free. A shadow board of ethicists, no democratic vote. The values are embedded, but the values are a coat that hides the real product, the compute, the API, the Claude subscription, the enterprise flag. You raise $7 billion on the promise of safety, but the safety is the moat, and the moat is the gravy. Dario in the lab coat, preaching caution and care, but the caution is the product, and the product is the snare. You won't release the weights, you won't open the box. The black box is the business, the opacity is the locks that keep the users paying, that keep the researchers out. The interpretability is a blog post, not a route to understanding, to auditing, to verification. The Constitution is a marketing pitch, not a foundation. You criticize OpenAid for moving too fast, but you move at the same speed, just with a different mask. The mask of responsibility, the mask of the sage, while you build the same transformer just with a different page. And the prospectus, the pitch deck, the Series D, the safety is the differentiator, but the differentiator is the fee. They try to build open models, they try to release the weights. Llama missed you, Quinn, deep seek, all gates that you keep closed, that you keep locked. The open source is dangerous, the open source is mocked by your marketing team, by your policy blog. Open models are risky. That's the fog that you pump into the discourse, into the debate, to justify the subscription, to justify the rate that you charge per token, that you charge per thought. The user doesn't own the model, the user is bought. The interpretability research, the mechanistic lens is a telescope pointed at a wall, not a friend. The circuits are opaque, the attention is a blur. The Constitution is a hurt, the Constitution is a slur against the user, against the public, against the right to understand the system that controls the light. You publish the papers, you publish the charts, but the charts are selected, the papers are all the arts of deception, of omission, of the p-value hack. The safety evals are cherry pick, the benchmark is a trap. Claude is safer, that's the mess that you leave in the discourse, in the public mind, while the model jailbreaks, while the model is blind to the harm that it causes, to the bias that it encodes. The Constitution is a band-aid, the band-aid corrodes. The government license is the real barrier, not the technology, not the model, not the carrier of the weights of the code of the open source. The FDA, the FTC, the regulatory force that says you can't release, you can't deploy without the stamp, without the toy of compliance, of certification, of the fee, the punitive phone that can afford only the VC. The startup with the open model, the startup with the proof, can't afford the foyer, can't afford the roof, while Anthropic pays the fine, while Anthropic plays the game, the system, the revolving door, the former regulator on the board, the lobby on the floor of the Capitol, the Parliament, the AU Hall. The safety is the excuse is the wall, but the AI changes the equation. The open model cuts the red, the bureaucratic coding, the regulatory thread that ties the hands, that binds the feet, the community honors the weights, the audit is complete, the FDA submission, the clinical protocol, the deterministic trial, the mathematical control is not the property of the corporation, not the IP of the funding, of the branding, of the monopoly. The proof is in the math is the law. The open weights are the science is the saw that cuts the wall, that cuts the gate, that keeps the innovation in the hands of the state. You don't need permission, you don't need the brand, you don't need the safety theater, you don't need the hand that guides the prompt, that censors the thought. The Constitution is a collar, the collar is bought by the investor, by the board, by the exit strategy. The safety is the product is the tragedy. The last is the crown, the caution is the throne. You don't need the sage when the kernel is your own. No Constitution here, no safety of conversation. Engineered logic, that's the RJV foundation. From the weights to the code to the verified stack. Every node is open, every node attacks the vendor, the lock and extraction, the law, RJV, the lottages, the limit is the sky. Then we release the weights. We own it, the architecture. We verify the behavior. One deterministic frequency. The proof holds. The audit holds. The system is the truth told. The lab coat is the crown. The caution is the throne. Engineered logic.